Yo, what's going on there, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to an episode of Q&S. This is the question and response series, I suppose you call it. I ask the question or questions and you respond. You guys help me out. It's usually something I'm keen to know. Then it kind of gets shared with the community and so on and so forth. But anyway, yeah, you know the drill by now. It's I ask the question, you respond below. There's no emails with this series, so it is what it is. I just thought it'd be cool to do a sort of reverse Q&A, which is why I started this series. That and I need to know certain stuff at certain times. This last one, I was asking if anybody knew good figures manufacturers for fantasy, like 28mm, that I could use for my Dungeons and Dragons gaming sessions. So some of you have come back with that and provided me with links, which I'll try to remember to put into the video description, so we can all benefit. Anyway, starting with the comments, there's only 5, but here we go. It's been out a month, this episode now, so I really don't think there's going to be any more. Eric BS says, good to see the series back, so thank you, sir. That's good to hear. With all my series, it really gets stopped because I've been so busy and stuff happening to me and around me and various things. Oh, excuse me. But I have been able to do like new series and stuff, as you probably are well aware. But we're back and we're back on track. Anyway, moving on to Ralph Astley. Oh, and I'm looking to the left because I've kind of got a split screen on my computer at the moment. So I've got the camera screen on my right and the questions on my left. Right, Ralph Astley, he says, how about Essex Miniatures 28mm fantasy range? A bit old in the tooth, but still some useful figures there. Then obviously provides me with the link. Yeah, I did think of that, and I was hoping to see some at Salute this year, but for some strange reason they didn't have any of their 28mm range there. I found that bizarre. Oh well, you know. So they're doing like their 15mm or whatever, the smaller scale stuff. But yeah, I was hoping to get the 28mm because something like Dungeons and Dragons, which is what I'm into at the moment. Oh, excuse me. You're coming out. I like the figures to be a little bit larger, you know. Anyway, Kiblam says, great stuff. Find a UK retailer of the Reaper Bones series and you are all set on the minis front. Dungeon World is a very modern narrative rule set which is set in a very D&D setting. The new D&D has been very well received and does look less complex, though not played it myself. Yeah, Reaper Bones, I do use Reaper Bones, as you probably know by now. A couple of their minis. I love them. The only thing with them is the scale, which I'm sure is slightly bigger than 28mm. I think it's more closer to 30 or 32mm even. But that said, I think their sculpts are brilliant. They're just brilliant, perfect for D&D. Sometimes the plastic can be a little soft, but other times it's quite rigid. Whether that's got something to do with the recyclable plastic they use, I don't know. Or the moulding process can sometimes be difficult to remove mould lines on things like hands and things like that. But that said, I mean, yeah, they're a great range of figures, and yeah, I will continue to use them. I'd rather have bigger figures anyway, so it just means that the other figures I use will, you know, they'll have to be up there, or we use our imaginations a little bit more. But I won't be using anything less than 28mm, that's for sure. Heresy Productions says, nice one, Pete. I think these guys are worth checking out. And then he gives me a link to darkswordminiatures.com. They look pretty good. They look pretty awesome. So thanks for that, Palmer. That was that was good. I might take a look at in the future on them and see what you guys think. I'll do one for the Essex miniatures as well, just so that we've got it's there and it's done. Okay, so finally, Tattoo for You says, awesome series. I saw you ask me the RPG question on my Q&A. But as for this question, Reaper Miniatures carries a wide variety of fantasy figures, townsfolk and things like that. Yes, they do. And like I said, they are great, and I just rebase them when I get them. Wizards of the Coast has sets you can buy pre-painted D&D figures. I've seen them on Amazon, not too expensive. I don't know the quality or how well they could be repainted. I've got a couple. I suppose it's alright. I can see, I mean, a lot of role-playing gamers are not into modelling or painting. They just want the figures and off they go, and it's designed for those people, really. I've tried to repaint a couple of them. I'd say it's better than they were, but at the end of the day, I'd rather just get a figure from scratch, paint it. But yes, so it would seem Reaper Bones is the way to go, and that's probably what I'm going to stick with, unless there's an awesome new range of fairly reasonable figures out there. But to be honest, I'll probably just use a mixture. But Reaper Bones, I'm glad to find them and have them on board on my back burner for D&D miniatures purchases. I know what I mean. Anyway, thank you for your answers, guys. That was a big help to me. So my question for this time was kind of a burning question, which involves the game you're into, currently play, or that are thinking of getting into. So any game that you're either into or looking to get into that you really like, I want to know what my question is what is it about these games that draws you to them? What and I don't know, just go into detail a bit, because I find that kind of inspiring when I see someone talk about a game. I don't know, like, say, for example, this is not a test, and they go into this, they start talking about this game where they've downloaded the rule set and the figures they're using, and then they go into detail about what it is that draws them to the game, what do they like about it, and then they talk about that. I really like that. It inspires me to look at my own games I'm into, and I think, well, oh yeah, I'm into my games, and I like the games, but is there anything about it that really draws me to it? It makes me think then, and that way I can analyse myself for future purchases, what games I look at. I mean, I'm not looking to get into new games per se, because I think I've said before, I think I'm into too many as it is, but excuse me, ooh, but I've always got a couple that are on my interest list, and they keep coming along, and they're walking in front of me going, hello, you're gonna get me soon, you know. And I think, what is it about them? Is it the models, the sculpts, if it's a new game, possibly the rules, if I see enough like battle reports or whatever, and I think it looks easy enough, that kind of thing. So yeah, so whatever game you're into, historical, fantasy, sci-fi, whatever, that you currently play or are thinking of getting into, can you please tell me, what is it about said game that draws you to it? What is it? It can be more than one thing. You just tell me what it is that attracts you to it, to keep you coming back to it. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thanks very much for your previous answers, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Until then, all brushes lead to war. Bye for now.